Most couples over 60 have given up on foreplay completely. Not because they don't want intimacy, but because the old routine stopped working. 20 minutes of the same touches, the same progression, waiting for her body to respond the way it used to. And it just doesn't. So you keep going through the motions, touching the places you've always touched, hoping something clicks, but her body feels distant. Arousal takes forever to arrive, if it comes at all, and the whole experience starts to feel mechanical, obligatory, like checking a box instead of creating connection. Here's what nobody tells you. The problem isn't that you need more foreplay, it's that you're touching the wrong places entirely. Welcome back to the Female Health Podcast. I'm Dr. Leah Parker, a gynecologist and women's health specialist with over 30 years helping couples rediscover connection when their bodies have changed. And today I'm going to show you 3 kissing spots that create arousal faster than any traditional foreplay. Not because they're erogenous zones, but because they trigger something deeper. Trust, safety, the emotional opening that makes her body want to respond. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where these spots are, why they work when genital touch fails, and how to use them in a way that feels natural instead of performative. But first, you need to understand why foreplay stopped working in the first place. After menopause, her body changed the rules. Estrogen dropped, nerve sensitivity shifted. The areas that used to respond quickly now need more time, more warmth, more trust before they wake up. And when you go straight for genital touch, her body tenses instead of opens. Because after 60, arousal doesn't start in her genitals anymore, it starts in her nervous system. And there's one spot on her body that reaches that system faster than any other. The catch? She can't see it when you touch it, which makes it the most vulnerable place you can kiss. The nape of her neck, just below her hairline, right above where her shoulders begin. This tiny area is connected directly to the brain's limbic system, the part responsible for emotion and memory. When you kiss her there, slowly, with intention, you're not just touching skin, you're activating emotional pathways that tell her body she's safe enough to let go. Here's why this matters. Younger couples can rush through this spot because their bodies are already primed for arousal. But after 60, her body needs proof that you're not performing, that you're present. A soft kiss on the nape says exactly that. Most partners skip right past it. They treat the neck like a quick stop on the way to somewhere else. But when you linger there, when you let the moment settle, something shifts. Her shoulders relax, her breathing deepens, and arousal starts building, not from pressure, but from trust. If you want deeper guidance on reconnecting with her body as it is now, check out the Reconnection Guide in the description. It's on sale until December 31st, and it shows you exactly how pleasure works after 60 and how to create it for her. But there's another spot even closer to her brain, one that doesn't just create trust, it triggers bonding at a hormonal level. This second spot is so close to her brain that it skips physical arousal completely. It goes straight to the emotional centers, straight to the part of her that decides whether she feels safe, chosen, truly seen. Just behind her ear, that small curve of skin between her earlobe and her hairline. When you kiss her there, her body releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical that floods her system when she holds someone she loves, when she feels emotionally connected, when trust deepens into intimacy. This isn't about sexual response, it's about emotional memory. Think about it. The ear is where she hears whispers, secrets, private laughter, things meant only for her. So when your lips touch just behind it, you're stepping into that same intimate space. Here's what makes this so powerful after 60. Younger couples rely on visual attraction and physical urgency. But at this stage of life, intimacy lives in subtlety. In the quiet moments, a soft kiss behind her ear while you murmur something personal, something only she would understand, sends warmth through her entire body. Not because it's erogenous, but because it says she's chosen, not for how she looks, but for who she is when no one else is watching. Most men rush past this spot or ignore it entirely, but when you pause there, when you let your breath warm her skin before your lips even touch, something inside her opens. And yet there's one more spot, the smallest one. The one that holds more power than either of the first two. The third spot isn't erogenous at all. There's nothing inherently sexual about it, and yet it creates more arousal than any traditional touch. Because this spot doesn't speak to her body, it speaks to her soul. Her inner wrist, right where her pulse beats beneath delicate skin. When you gently lift her hand and press your lips to that pulse point, you're doing something profound. You're touching the rhythm of her life, her heartbeat, her vulnerability, and that activates the empathy centers in her brain, the part that recognizes when someone truly sees her. This is where maturity becomes your advantage. Younger men kiss with hunger. They grab, they rush, they try to prove something. But a man over 60 who takes the time to kiss her wrist with reverence shows restraint, patience, presence. He's saying something without words. I'm not here to take from you, I'm here to honor you. That distinction changes everything, because when she feels revered instead of desired, when she knows you're not performing but cherishing, her entire nervous system relaxes, and arousal doesn't have to be chased. It arrives on its own. Imagine holding her hand during a quiet conversation, pausing, bringing her wrist to your lips without expectation, just tenderness. But here's what stops most couples from ever trying this. Even when they know these 3 spots exist, even when they understand the science, there's still one invisible barrier that keeps them locked in the old routine. The barrier isn't technique, it's fear. You're afraid she'll think it's strange, that after years of the same routine, suddenly kissing her neck, her ear, her wrist will feel performative, like you're trying too hard, like you watched something online and now you're awkwardly testing it out. So you don't try. You stay with what's familiar, even though familiar stopped working years ago. Here's what you need to understand. These 3 spots only work when she already feels emotionally safe with you. Not because you've proven yourself, but because you've shown up without expectation. That safety doesn't come from words, it comes from presence. It comes from the moment you stop rushing through intimacy like it's a task to complete and start treating it like a conversation you actually want to have. I had a patient tell me her husband kissed her wrist one evening while they were sitting together on the couch. No build-up, no agenda, just a quiet gesture. She teared up, not because it was erotic, but because it was the first time in years she felt truly seen instead of needed. That's the shift. When you kiss these spots without trying to make something happen, when you're simply honoring her, the fear dissolves, hers and yours. And once that barrier falls, something unexpected happens. The 3 spots stop being separate gestures and start working together in a sequence that completely transforms how intimacy feels. Here's how to use all 3 together. Start with her neck. Brush her hair aside gently and let your lips rest on the nape. Stay there. Let her feel the warmth, the intention, the fact that you're not rushing anywhere. Then move to just behind her ear. Slowly, let your breath reach her skin before your lips do. Whisper something true, something only she would understand. That combination of touch and voice creates bonding that goes deeper than any physical technique. Finally, take her hand, lift her wrist to your mouth, and kiss the pulse point with reverence. No urgency, just quiet acknowledgement that you see her, value her, choose her. This sequence doesn't just create arousal, it rewrites how intimacy feels. It shifts from performance to presence, from routine to rediscovery. Couples who've been together for decades suddenly feel like they're learning each other all over again. And here's what actually changes. She stops bracing herself for disappointment. She stops waiting for you to rush through and get to the main event. She relaxes into the knowing that this moment, right here, is enough. If you want to go deeper into understanding how her body responds now and how to create pleasure that lasts, the Reconnection Guide walks you through everything. It's on sale until December 31st. So here's your challenge. This week, choose one of these 3 spots. Just one. Kiss it with intention, without expectation. Notice how she responds. Notice what shifts between you. Comment below which spot you're going to try first. I want to hear from you. Because intimacy after 60 doesn't fade. It just asks to be approached differently.